The Galactic Academy's combat assessment hall buzzed with nervous energy as candidates from 47 species gathered for the most dreaded examination in the known universe. Anna stood among the crowd, her human frame dwarfed by the towering Crithians and the armored Vexnari. Beside her, Leo adjusted his regulation jumpsuit, his eyes scanning the sterile white chamber with characteristic human curiosity. "All weapons are prohibited," the proctor's voice echoed through the hall, translated simultaneously into hundreds of languages. The speaker was a Zinthari, their crystalline body refracting the harsh overhead lights into rainbow patterns. "The combat assessment will test your ability to survive and overcome threats using only what you find in the examination environment." Anna exchanged a glance with Leo. They were the only two humans in this year's intake, a rarity that had made them celebrities among the alien student body. Humanity had only joined the Galactic Federation 15 years ago, and their reputation preceded them. Clever, yes, but physically weak, fragile, unsuited for combat. The Vexnari delegate, a creature named Orcs whose carapace could deflect plasma fire, had laughed openly when the humans registered for the combat track. "Your kind should stick to engineering," he'd said, his mandibles clicking in amusement. "Leave fighting to those evolved for it." The candidates were led into individual preparation chambers. Anna found herself in a sparse room containing only a bed, a waste unit, and a breakfast tray. The meal was standard academy fare: a gelatinous protein cube, a starch wafer, and a cup of synthesized nutrient liquid. The tray itself was made of some kind of compressed polymer, pale blue and seemingly fragile. She ate quickly, her mind already working through scenarios. The exam would begin in 30 minutes. No weapons meant no obvious advantages for the species that brought natural claws, venomous appendages, or armored hides. It was meant to be an equalizer, but Anna knew better. Humans didn't need weapons. They made them. 3 chambers away, Leo stared at his identical breakfast tray. His fingers traced the edge thoughtfully. The polymer was thin but dense, designed to be disposable and difficult to repurpose. The Academy had learned from previous years: no more metal utensils, no glass containers, nothing that could obviously be weaponized. They hadn't accounted for human ingenuity. Leo began to bend the tray, testing its flexibility. It resisted at first, then began to warm under his persistent pressure. He folded it lengthwise, then widened the fold, creating a crease that ran the length of the tray. Using the corner of the bed frame, he worked the crease back and forth, heating the polymer through friction. Minutes passed. Sweat beaded on his forehead. The tray began to separate along the crease line. Leo smiled. When the sirens blared to signal the examination's start, the doors of all chambers opened simultaneously. The candidates emerged into a massive arena that had been transformed into an urban warfare environment. Collapsed buildings, narrow alleys, sniper positions elevated on crumbling structures. Orcs charged forward immediately, his natural armor glinting. The Crithian candidate, standing nearly 3 meters tall, released a battle roar that shook the ground. Others scattered, seeking cover or advantageous positions. Anna moved quietly into the shadows, her hand gripping what appeared to be a shard of blue polymer. But it was more than that. Using the rough edge of the chamber's door frame, she had ground one edge of the tray into a crude but functional blade. The handle was wrapped with strips torn from her bedsheet, providing grip and preventing the polymer from biting into her palm. She wasn't alone in her approach. From another entrance, Leo emerged with his own creation, a longer, more refined blade that he'd painstakingly shaped and sharpened. He'd even managed to create a slight curve, making it more effective for slashing. The first challenge came quickly. A holographic predator, designed to simulate a Corvathian ravager, materialized in front of Anna. The creature was all teeth and claws, programmed to test reaction speed and combat capability. Most candidates would attempt to flee or use their natural abilities to fight. Anna did neither. She waited, her makeshift blade held low and ready. When the ravager lunged, she moved with practiced efficiency, sidestepping and driving her polymer blade into the hologram's neck. The simulation registered a kill. The ravager dissolved into pixels. Watching from the observation deck, the Academy instructors exchanged startled glances. Professor Venthar, a military historian, leaned forward. "Did she just create a weapon from her meal tray?" "Impossible," another instructor muttered. Those trays are specifically designed to be non-weaponizable. We consulted materials scientists across 12 species. You didn't consult humans, Venthar observed dryly. In the arena, Leo had encountered Korax. The Vexnari warrior laughed at the sight of the human holding what looked like a piece of trash. You bring a toy to face me? Pathetic, Leo didn't respond with words. When Korax charged, confident in his superior armor and strength, Leo moved like water. He'd spent years studying human martial arts, skills developed by his species over millennia, long before they'd touched the stars. The blade in his hand flashed, finding the gaps in Korax's carapace with surgical precision. The Vexnari's laughter died. His armor was impenetrable, yes, but the joints, the seams where plates met, those were vulnerable. Leo's blade, sharpened to an edge finer than Korax expected, slipped into those gaps. The warrior fell, not fatally wounded but disabled. Defeated. Anna and Leo met at the arena's center, where the final challenge awaited. They nodded to each other, no words necessary. Around them, candidates with natural weapons, with evolutionary advantages, with species-specific combat abilities, watched in disbelief. The final challenge was a synthetic guardian, a robotic opponent designed to be nearly unbeatable. It had no obvious weaknesses, no emotional responses to exploit. Most years, candidates simply survived its assault long enough to pass. But Anna and Leo didn't plan to survive. They planned to win. They moved in tandem, a coordination born from being the only two humans in a galaxy of aliens. Leo drew the Guardian's attention with feints and strikes, his blade sparking off its metallic surface. Anna circled, looking for the weak point she knew must exist. Humans were engineers at heart, and engineers always left a flaw, intentional or not. She found it, a cooling vent barely visible, at the Guardian's lower back. When Leo's next attack drew the robot's arms upward, Anna struck. Her blade, that simple shard of breakfast tray polymer, punched through the vent and into the circuitry beyond. The Guardian shuddered, sparked, and collapsed. Silence filled the arena. Then slowly the observation deck erupted in noise. Instructors argued. Candidates stared. The examination's automated systems declared two winners, Anna Chen and Leo Marks, humans. Later, in the post-examination briefing, Professor Venthar approached them. "We will need to redesign our security protocols," he said, though his tone held more admiration than annoyance. "And our meal trays," Leo grinned. "Respectfully, Professor, we could make weapons from almost anything. That's what humans do." "We adapt," Anna added softly. "You banned weapons from the exam. You didn't ban ingenuity." As word spread through the Galactic Academy of what the humans had done, the whispers changed. No longer were they dismissed as fragile or weak. A new understanding emerged, one that would echo through Federation space. Humans didn't need to bring weapons to a fight. They were weapons, and everything around them was ammunition. That realization would change the galaxy's perception of humanity forever.